Hello game fans, welcome to another video from Gaming Debugged. Now, Pokemon Go. It's sweeping the world, and now a renewed love for those pocket monsters is upon us. Unless you have been living in a part of the world that the rollout hasn't yet reached, you have probably played it, or at least heard about it. Pokemon Go is essentially a mix of Google Maps and a paper toss game. But weirdly, it actually works. In actual fact, Pokemon Go is a reskinning of an older game called Ingress, in which you fight for supremacy over some interdimensional beings. Pokemon Go has simplified it and removed a lot of the depth, which may be re-added in subsequent updates. Despite its simplified gameplay, it still took me a lot of questions before understanding the finer points of Pokemon Go. I thought I'd jot them all down for us all to enjoy. The basics. Pokemon Go is a location-based collection game in which a player creates a character, walks around a stylized Google map looking for pocket monsters or Pokemon. The launch version has 142 creatures to collect, and they are collected by flicking balls at them. Pokemon can appear anywhere, but the algorithm favours built-up areas and urban areas over rural, wide-open spaces. Certain types of Pokemon, such as water Pokemon, appear near bodies of water, such as rivers or lakes, and a different set of Pokemon appear at night. As the game favours explorers, you need to be prepared to put in some legwork to be the ultimate Pokemon hunter. Social media is awash with people who have been tricked into exercise thanks to this game. POKEBALLS and throwing. When your phone vibrates, it means a Pokemon is nearby. If you tap the offending creature, the game uses an augmented reality, using the phone's camera, to layer a Pokemon in the real world view. Players start with 100 Pokeballs, and these are flicked at creatures to capture them. As the game progresses, the creatures are able to dodge and escape these Pokeballs, forcing you to use up even more of these balls. Once collected, they can be found in your Pokedex. POKESTOPS. A Pokestop is a map location where players can stock up on items such as Pokeballs and incense and eggs. Pokestops tend to be landmarks and places of interest such as nature reserves and historical signs. When you are close enough, players can then tap the location and spin the image to receive a selection of the spoils. Items. There are various items available to budding young trainers that include items that produce, lure and heal Pokemon. Balls. There are three types of balls. There's the standard, the great and the ultra. Each type has a higher chance of capturing and securing different types of Pokemon. Eggs. There are two types of egg. The standard egg that can be found at Pokestops and require that you put them in an incubator and walk either 2k, 5k or 10k in order to hatch them. The longer the walk, the rarer the Pokemon. Lucky eggs, on the other hand, double your experience points for about half an hour or so, and so they are best saved for when you are in a Pokemon heavy area. Potions. The four types of potions include the standard, the super, the ultra and the max, each of which replenish the health bar of battle-worn Pokemon, see the gym section later on, and there is also a selection of revive potions which awaken the fainted Pokemon if they have lost in battles. Lures. If you do not fancy trekking into a built-up area, then there are two ways in which you can get Pokemon to come to you. Firstly, you can use incense to attract Pokemon to your current location for about 30 minutes, and secondly, you can attach a lure to a Pokestop. This way it attracts all these different Pokemon for both you and other players to that location. With incense, that only attracts Pokemon to you, whereas with a lure it attracts Pokemon for everyone. You can find if anyone's using a lure if you look at a Pokestop and there's all this glittery hearts flying off it. Outside of these items, there are raspberries, which help you catch difficult Pokemon, and different types of incubators, meaning that you can hatch more than one Pokemon at a time. The gyms. Gyms are essentially battlegrounds and can contain around 10 trainers. Basically, you need to defeat about 3 of them to enter the gym. There is a prestige wheel that reduces after each battle, but I want to keep this video simple for the time being. By being one of those trainers, you get 2 of the most precious commodities in the game, Pokemon Gold and Stardust, which acts as the in-game currency and power-up material. Gyms are usually held by elites with powerful Pokemon, but you can leave at any time to gain the valuable experience points and live to fight another day. It will help you later on. Players can take 6 Pokemon into a gym, and once in, you leave your most powerful to guard your position. Battles can be done with friends, and 3 people can take a gym at the same time. The perils of Pokemon Go. You may have already heard in the news that people have walked off cliffs, walked into mugging traps, and generally endangered themselves as a result of playing. These 3 main issues are addiction, negligence, and endangerment. It's really easy to get addicted, so ensure that you take regular breaks. Having your head in your phone can result in you walking into roads or stopping in roads to catch Pokemon, and a slew of other problems. Also, players need to be careful that they do not go anywhere that's too dangerous, such as dark alleyways, building sites, or even open water to try and catch these Pokemon. It sounds crazy, but it is happening. Okay, so let's have some quick tips. Okay, number 1, don't get attached to your early Pokemon, because they'll just be transferred up later on in order to power up your other Pokemon. If you have these multiple Pokemon of the same type, use the transfer button to transfer its power or candy to your strongest version. Don't power up early, as the Stardust is very precious and you'd rather use it on your more powerful Pokemon. In the settings menu, you can switch it to battery saver mode to conserve your battery power. In the same vein, turn off sound effects and music, especially if you like listening to your own music whilst you're walking. If you are heading out, turn off your Wi-Fi and sometimes your 4G on your phone in order to stay logged in. When the game needs to jump from 3G to 4G or to Wi-Fi, it can lose connection and it's very annoying. So there you have it, just a short overview of Pokemon Go and a few tips for you. If this video has been useful, then please give it a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, comment and like, and I will be back with another video very soon.
Finish him!